Hello, students. Today we are going to learn about the digestive system. Food, I'm pretty sure all of you are very familiar with the kinds of food that you eat. And most of the nutrients we eat cannot be used in the existing form. That means if you're having beef, it cannot be digested as we have the beef in the form that we have the beef. It needs to be, processed. It needs to be broken down in order for it to be absorbed and used by the body and in general the cells of your body. So so the digestive system mainly actually deals with the process in which the food is digested, and broken down and actually taken up by the cells for their source of energy. And all living organisms must get nutrients from their environment, and we have to have food for our survivals. And the nutrients are used basically like a raw material, right? And for synthesizing different type of compounds. So when we make different type of compounds, the process is known as anabolism. And when we break down, the process is known as catabolism. Okay, the digestive system actually is mainly for the catabolism of the food, that is breakdown of the food into smaller molecules. So let's proceed. So just an overview. And in order to understand the digestive system is also known as the alimentary canal or the gastrointestinal tract. These are the three different names for it: alimentary canal, gastrointestinal tract, and digestive system. So the digestive system actually has some major organs and then some accessory organs. So the word accessory might feel that they're not so important, but I do want to emphasize here that these accessory organs or accessory digestive organs are equally important as the primary ones, okay? So the alimentary canal, we start from the mouth, it passes to the pharynx, then goes into esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. And the accessory digestive organs are teeth, tongue, gallbladder, salivary glands, liver, and pancreas. So again, the main organs in the alimentary canal starts with the mouth, goes into pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. And for the accessory organ that help the primary organs are the teeth, tongue, gallbladder, salivary glands, liver, and pancreas. So the process of digestion has several steps, as you can see it in here. There are 6 essential steps. The one that we start with is ingestion. That means we take in the food, we ingest the food, we take in the food in the mouth, okay? And once we take in the food in the mouth, now in the mouth, it is decided whether the food needs to go inside our body or you can throw it out. Okay, so the process of ingestion is basically like a screening, whether, if I close your eyes and give you a piece of paper to eat, I'm pretty sure you will throw it out. So it's decided by the food. So you can decide whether the food should go to your body or you will discard it, okay? Then propulsion is basically movement of the body from the mouth to the rest of the alimentary canal. Then there is a mechanical digestion where in this process, no chemicals are used. It is basically chopping down the food into smaller pieces. And of course, a little bit of digestion also takes place, which we will discuss a little later in the mechanical digestion, which leads into the chemical digestion, where several enzymes, hormones, etc., are all involved in the process of digestion. And then absorption, very, very important process, but because this is the reason we are having this process in place, that is absorption of water, absorption of these food materials in the form of fuel that gives the cell ATP for its functioning. And then defecation, any food that is not essential to our body is excreted out or released out. So we are actually, whatever I said right now is written in here. So we're going to start with the first process, which is ingestion, that is taking in food, and then comes the next process, which is peristalsis and segmentation. I want you to understand this process is pretty simple. It is basically like, in the morning, you use toothpaste to have the paste out of the tube to your brush, right? So it's exactly the same thing. You push the toothpaste or the tube in order the paste to come in. So this pushing of the paste is slowly and steadily that goes in, and the paste actually comes out, right? So this is exactly the same way the peristalsis is. It is basically pushing the food, as you can see, from one end to the other in order so that the food in the form of bolus or chyme can pass through the different parts of the alimentary canal. The histology of the alimentary canal, very, very important for us to understand this very well. So we will, if we start from the lumen, which is the inner part of the body, of the entire alimentary canal, as you can see in here, the inner part, basically the hole that you see in here is the lumen. The four layers of the digestive system is mucosa. As you can see it in here, this is mucosa, this is submucosa, this is muscularis externa, and serosa. So mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa, and serosa. The structure of these layers vary by region, and as you can see it in the PowerPoint, they are made up of different kinds of tissues, and we are going to go over them slowly and steadily. The lining of the digestive tract varies by region to region, and there are longitudinal folds. There are regions where the longitudinal folds disappear. Again, there are places where there are circular folds, and there are places where there are no circular folds. There are places where there are ups and downs, and there are places where there aren't any ups and downs. So as we go over, we will learn more and more about it. So we'll start with the mucosa layer, which is the innermost layer in the alimentary canal, the inner lining or mucosa. It consists of, as you can see, it consists of three major layers. Number one is the epithelial layer, then the lamina propria and muscularis mucosa. Epithelial layer, as you can see it in here, this is the epithelial layer, and inner to it is lamina propria, which is basically nothing but the basement membrane of the connective tissue. All connective tissue, if you remember, is connected or sits on the epithelial tissue because it does not have any blood vessels, and epithelial tissues are the one that supply the blood to the connective tissue. So this is the epithelial tissue. Next to it is lamina propria, and then there's a very tiny layer or a very slim layer of muscularis mucosa, which is nothing but muscle. Leading to the next part, which is the submucosa, which is basically a full length of a connective tissue, as you can see it in here. And then muscularis externa, which is the third layer in here. It consists of two muscular layers. One is the longitudinal layer, which goes horizontally top to bottom, and then there is circular layer which circles around the the entire surface. We'll learn when we go into the stomach that there's another layer, which is an oblique layer, which is also present in the stomach. But right now, in general, the muscularis layer consists of two muscles. One is the longitudinal muscle, the other is a circular muscle. And the last, which is the serosa layer, consists of epithelial and connective tissue. And this is a much harder or much tougher layer in the whole four layers. So again, there are four major layers: mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa, and serosa. And in here, of the epithelial layers that you are looking at, these are of two types. One is simple, the other is stratified. If you remember when when you learned about tissue, that simple layers are places where there is not too much trafficking that goes on, not too much of exchange of material that occurs. So same thing in here, like for example, in the mouth, where you take in the food, a lot of breakdown of food, of mechanical digestion is taking place. And so the mouth actually has stratified epithelial tissue. That is, a lot of goes on in the mouth and the esophagus. But when it comes to the stomach and the small intestine, the food is much more softer. It is easy to, it's in a form that digestion can start. And as a result, that region consists of simple epithelial. Again, in the large intestine, where water has been absorbed already, so the food or the bolus at that point is much harder, and as a result, it is stratified again in that region. So epithelial, whether it's going to be simple epithelial or stratified epithelial, depends upon the function of that region. So this is basically three major functions of these epithelial layers. One is secretion of mucus, absorption of the end products of digestion. And again, a very important function is also it protects against infectious diseases. Yes, it is a layer that has several lymphatic vessels, and that is responsible for its function also. I want to add in here that there are columnar cells in there, which are known as enteroendocrine cells, that produce or secrete hormones that control activities of the digestive tract and the accessory gland. So you can see in here, this is a submucosa, external, muscularis externa, and serosa. And the serosa is basically, there's another name for it, which is known as adventitia, which is mainly in the region of esophagus. So going over the entire pathway and reviewing it before we go ahead is the food digestion starts in the mouth, which is also known as the oral cavity. And from there, it passes to the esophagus. From the esophagus, it goes to the stomach. From the stomach, it goes into the small intestine, then to the large intestine. The small intestine is highly, highly coiled. It's called small because of the diameter of the small intestine is much narrower than the large intestine. The diameter of the large intestine is bigger. So the small intestine is highly coiled. It's the length of it is much longer than that of the large intestine. And then from there, it goes into rectum and anus and is excreted out. There are accessory organs like salivary gland, as you can see. There is liver, gallbladder, pancreas, all of which help in the process of digestion.